Hi everybody, this is Carla. Welcome back to my channel, or if it's your first time, welcome to my channel, The Happy Bookmaker. Today, what we're going to be working on is, I'm going to call them sort of mini planners, mini journals. They're not as big as like a typical junk journal or art journal or probably a typical big planner, but I think these would be great for gift ideas, if not for yourself, but a great gift idea, which was originally my intention for these. Last Christmas, I had great ideas of making some nice little planners for a few of the people at work that I thought would be, it'd be really fun and useful. And yeah, the night before, still hadn't done anything, so that didn't happen. So it's fresh in my mind, which is why I want to do this today. But these are super easy, inexpensive, limited materials, just having fun, being creative. So I have two sort of, I'll call them kind of prototypes, though we are not going to reproduce these like exactly. We're going to do something a little bit different. So the first one, let's put this little guy aside. This is a completely handmade, I'm a little crooked here. Let's get you straighter here. I don't know why you're crooked. Okay, so this is completely handmade from stem to stern, pretty much. So let's open her up. It started with a piece of cardstock. This is like, what's it called? Craft paper, like craft paper, but it's cardstock. You can kind of hear that. So that is the base of this. Now I chose to make this, let's see, I think it's 5 by 7. It's a little over 5 by 7. Of course, you could make it, you could basically just fold this in half and it would be, what is it, 5.5 by, why can't I do the math? You know what I'm trying to say. 8.5. Okay. All right. So you could do it like that. I just wanted it to be a little bit smaller, kind of more similar to like a ready-made journal that you might find. So, so that was the basis for this. And then I did cover it with some pretty scrapbook paper that I've had for quite a while. Some digital images that I printed out. This is an antique book paper. It is in, let's see. It is in French, the French language. I have one signature of 12 in here. I did put a little pocket on the inside cover or the front cover, I should say, and on the back cover to hold, maybe receipts or just little things that you want to hang on to or, whatever. I think it's really useful to have little pockets. One of the main things I wanted to do with this journal was to make it sort of a planner. So it's got, I've got the 12 monthly calendars in here. This was just a free image of a plain blank calendar that I found online. I downloaded it. I sized it to be like this half page, and I just printed these month names on paper, tore them out, did a little inking on them, but obviously I got 12 of those because there's 12 months. And then the other side of the paper, because this was one sheet of paper, is just free and open for, note-taking, scribbles, journaling, whatever the person or the user wants to do. I've also done, like, just out of the scraps of these projects, just a little bookmark. Maybe you want to bookmark it to, I don't know, May, which is coming up pretty soon. So that is the basics of this. I used this really shimmery, I love this, kind of mauve-y, sandy pink ribbon as the thread to bind my signature. And I was a little concerned it wasn't going to fit, but it did. It fit beautifully. And then we're kind of wrapping it around as a closure, which you don't have to have, but you know, it kind of holds it a little bit closer, or you know, holds it closed so that you can tuck stuff in, and you know, if you've got receipts and things tucked in there, it might be nice. And as it gets fuller, it'll probably like poke, you know, get a little bit thicker. I also went through and just kind of for funsies did random stamping here and there. I did some vintage photo inking on the pages, which really fit in with my theme. So that is the first one, and like I said, this one is completely handmade. So the other one I want to show you is, let me get the other one so you can see what I'm talking about, is a little, it's called a composition book that I got at, I think it was the dollar store. It may have even been $1. So it looked like this originally, and this is, you know, plastic. So very simple. This has just got lined pages on the interior. You know, it's not like the greatest, you know, not the greatest quality probably, but I did figure out, I guess it was yesterday, because I thought maybe it was glued in here, but it is actually a sewn signature, and I can't find the threads right now, but this is sewn in. So I feel like it's gonna be, I can't, there's no way for you to see that. It's gonna be pretty sturdy. So again, and this one is about 5 by 7, yeah, it is 5 by 7. So that's kind of how I was sizing all of these, kind of similar to this. So the one that I made out of one of these is this little guy. I just love this. It's so like girly glam. It's totally, I love this kind of stuff. I love this. So let's open her up. Very few supplies needed for this. Let's start with the interior. Well, as you can see, so what I did was one larger piece of, this is scrapbook paper that I cut to fit the outside. And what I did was I just laid this down, and we're going to talk about that cracking in a minute. I laid this down and, you know, just made sure that, you know, I was getting the full overall measurement. I made it a little bit bigger so that I could trim it off because I didn't want to be short. And then on the interior, I did another piece of scrapbook paper on the inside, and then again created another little pocket for receipts and things like that. Did the same thing on the back. Now what I learned with this was that between the plastic and all of this paper, it's a little crunchy sounding when you open it, if you can hear that. I think it's perfectly sturdy. I may have to put a little bit more glue down in here, but it just might be too much. It might be just a little bit thick. Plus I also did, like, you know, this strip to accent the binding. You know, just, this was a sticker that I had. This was basically just like some paper I already had. I did not buy anything to do these projects except for these back in December, which, like I said, I think were like $1. And then a little glitz on the title there. So I didn't do anything to the interior pages because they're just lined pages. So this is probably more of a journal situation. But, you know, again, this would be a great gift for somebody. I just love this. And then again, out of the scraps, we made a little bookmark for the user to stick in wherever they left off. You don't need a closure for this. And I know I used this in the last one, but then I did this one and I was like, oh, I have to have that because it's shimmery pink, you know, like what else would you want to do with this, right? So I'm going to show you how to do both of these. Obviously, this one is going to be the quicker, easier version. Okay, so let's get started. As I said, for the handmade one, we've got this cardstock paper. And I mean, you kind of need something heavier like a cardstock because it's just not going to hold up, I think. And let me get all my stuff here. So I've already kind of started this just to save time so the video doesn't get too long. But I decided to do, sorry, I'm showing you all the goodies here ahead of time. I wanted to do something a little bit different than like the frilly feminine. And so I wanted to do something kind of boho, and I kind of think this is a little boho, so I really love this. Again, 1 sheet of scrapbook paper. In this whole thing, I'm using 2 sheets, less than 2 sheets of scrapbook paper and some scraps. So not a lot of supplies. So what I did was, the same thing. I measured over it, and I glued it down with Fabric Fix. And I think I did maybe have to trim off a little bit on the outside, but I wanted to make sure that it covered. So for my interior piece, we're going to use something. Let me find my piece of paper here. I'm dropping stuff. I want to use something coordinating but really fun. So another kind of boho piece, but I think it's a really cute coordinate to the front cover. So this is a little bit oversized, but we can trim it off. I'm also going to round the corners the way I did on the other one, because I just think it's nicer for a small journal like this. And on the other one, I did do some reinforcing of the spine here. You might not need it. This is not that hardy of a journal that you might need it, but we're just gonna do it just to be safe. It doesn't take up that much space, it doesn't make it that thick. I didn't do it on the outside of this one because I just felt like maybe I did overkill on the other one. So now what we wanna do is, let's see if I don't wanna go all the way to the end because I don't want it to show. We're gonna just, this is gonna be covered with paper, so we're gonna cut that off. Okay, come up. And then I'm gonna put some glue down under it just to make sure it's really, really nice and secure. I can flatten this out. It's gonna hold pretty well, and I think you'd have to be pretty hard on this to wreck it. There's only 12 pages, 24 sides. So I think I overdid the glue. Okay, so let's just lay this down. I hope you guys can see well enough. It's overcast today. It's not as bright as it was for my last one. So, hopefully you can see well enough. So it doesn't cover the whole thing, but, oh, now I got glue on my hand. But that's okay. Let's get a little paper towel here. Paper towelage. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of wipe this off. This just makes me feel a little bit better about the spine. Also, on the other one, if you recall, I laid down a piece of like craft ribbon, burlap ribbon, to give it a little bit even more strength. And again, I think I might have done a little overkill on this one, but that's okay. You can do that if you want to. If you want to lay down a piece of fabric, fabric is the best way to strengthen a spine because it's not going to rip. It's going to be flexible. It's really the way to go. Okay, so now that we've done that, I'm going to just lay this down. Lay down some glue. I'm going to cover it. We really want to get it good. Okay. I'm gonna try to get that sort of in the middle. I already kind of had a fold in here. Fold it like that. So I'm just gonna kind of go over this side with a bone folder, kind of give it a little fold. Then I'm going to come back and go over it this way. Yeah, I think that's pretty, oh gosh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh well, we can trim it off. I should have made it more straight on the bottom so I didn't have to worry about trimming it. But I have a nice new blade, so I think we'll be okay. So just a little bit more flattening. Yeah, okay. Cover that up. So let's come in here and kind of cut off a little bit of this excess. I just find it easier to have a little excess to trim off than to try to get it, you know, exactly on there, which you can almost, well, I can almost never do. So let's see here. And this is handmade, so you know, the charm of handmade is that it's not perfect. It's just, it's charming. It's, you know, it's not supposed to be perfect. So we're gonna do this now. This is barely overhanging. I hope that he's even cutting something. I don't know. Are you cutting anything at all? Maybe if I go up a little. Yeah, there we go. Okay. See, look at that. And one last time. Cut it. Okay, so that is done. Oh, it's so cute. She's so cute. Camera, sorry. Hopefully I won't knock the camera over like I did last week. That was fun. Yeah, I do have a little bubble in here. I'm trying to kind of hurry, so you'll want to probably go a little bit slower than I did, but that's okay. It probably is going to drive me crazy. I wonder if I can give it a little breathing room here. Just a little. It's not really cutting it, it's just kind of maybe letting some of that air out. That actually, well, I didn't really do anything. Okay, I'm gonna worry about that at another time. I mean, it's gonna be covered up. There's gonna be pages over it. So that's that. I also wanna do little pockets again, but this time, I think I wanna go with a side pocket. So I've already, again, cut these to save time. I just gotta find them. So what I'm doing is using the front paper to make our pockets because, you know, I have scraps from that, and let's just use it all. I don't know what happened to my other piece. Hold on, you guys. I need a bigger desk, or I need to be more organized. I don't know where it went to. Seriously, cannot find that piece of paper. Okay. All right, well, we're gonna start with this. So, we're making a pocket. I'll probably find it under my pile somewhere. So, as opposed to the pocket that we did on the other one, which was just like a lower pocket, we're gonna do a little side pocket. I'm gonna spread this out a little because we're gonna be doing the corner trimmer thing again. And, you know, I wanna make sure that there's glue over all of it. And I did already cut this to the proper size. Hopefully. And I can still kind of scooch it a little bit, which is nice about this glue. Yeah, I'll have to trim that off, but that's okay. So that is that. Boy, this is gonna drive me crazy if I can't find that piece of paper. Let's see here. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? I really wanna do my other pocket. I think I found it in a scrap pile. Yes, I did. Okay. I thought it was a scrap, but it's a real thing. Okay, so let's do this one. I have a feeling this might be a long video because I can't seem to find my stuff. Okay. And again, push that little guy down. And I'm going to give that a couple minutes to dry, and then I'm going to trim off the excess. But I just don't want it to come short. So that's why a little bit of excess is fine. Okay, so we're going to let that dry for a minute. Also, on the exterior, I want to do a little binding covering, because I just think that, you know, it adds a little bit of strength, and you know, it's kind of a nice accent. I might trim this off beforehand because it's very, very close. Okay, just gonna trim this real quick. Okay, now I'm going to give her a fold. By the way, I haven't done I'm not doing any inking as far as like making it look old on this, because I feel like for the theme, that's not really needed. But I am going to be doing some fun inking on the interior pages. Yeah, it is going to just drive me crazy. Might have to go back and fix that later. Okay, let's put on our little binding. So just cut it to, I don't know, this is probably about a total of 1 inch, so probably about 1/2 inch on each side. And again, this was just a scrap of the interior. And there you go. Isn't that cute? I think it's super cute. I think I can scooch it down a little bit here. Oh, not too far. Okay. I love that you can kind of finagle it a little bit once you've gotten it down. Okay. And I think we're okay to trim off these edges now. Trim. I mean, I think a lot of people really like the boho look. I could see, you know, a younger person or teenager really liking that. It looks young and fun to me. So there's that. Okay. Oh, I love this. I love this. Okay. Now, let's see. Let's start with our interior pages. So again, I found a free little calendar, a blank one online that I just printed off. I downloaded it, and so you could do this a couple different ways. So what I did was I printed it on paper. You know, I downloaded them and then inserted them into just a Word document and made them the size that I wanted, knowing what size my book was. So it is actually trimmed down from this. This is just like the full 8.5 by 11 sheet. And then, you know, once I had it trimmed, folded them in half. You could just put in plain papers, print off a bunch of these, and glue them down if you don't want to mess with that. This to me was easier than doing a bunch of gluing, and I just think these are so cute. Oh, there's a little flower. So I have a combination of calendar pages, and by the way, the reason I liked this one is the colors are perfect together. So I have a combination of the calendar pages and some just plain, like, you know, pages for journaling in here. So it's still 12 sheets, but some of them are completely bare. So this is where we're probably going to do a little bit of the red and blue inking around the edges. Nothing crazy, just a little bit to add a little fun. So let's start with, first of all, I've already cut these to the right size to fit into my 5 by 7 book. Now it sticks out a little, so we're going to be cutting that off. That's what they call bird beak, because once you fold it, it pushes the middle pages forward, and no problem, we're just going to trim it off. So we're going to take care of that, but I want to make sure it's all down good. And then I'm going to put a couple of clips on it to hold them down. And I'm going to come back in and I'm going to we're going to be pretty brazen with our trim here because I want it to fit nicely. Like I said, I have a really nice sharp blade. I'm going to extend it a little. Be very careful. Don't try to go through the whole thing at one time. You're not going to probably be able to do that. There's that. We're getting there. You can see all the little fuzzies. Okay. You can feel it. Like you can feel the knife like scraping against the paper that when it's still cutting. There we go. Look at that. Okay. Yeah. Well, she still sticks. Oh, it's probably the paper clips. Okay. Or the binder clips. Yeah, that's good. You can see it's kind of still in there. So, you know, and again, these are handmade. We don't have to get too crazy. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take, this is kind of the scary part. See if this is strong enough. I had to almost stand on it yesterday to do another one. The little corner trimmer. Okay, it's really, because it's like cardstock and like two kinds of paper. All right, that one might not be tough enough. Let's try this one. I think I got these. One of these was from Creative Memories, which I used to be a consultant for many, many years ago when I was it's probably just my weak hands, let's see. When I was considered myself kind of a crazy scrapbooker. Oh my goodness, like it is so. There we go. Yeah. As you get older, your hands are not as strong. Okay. There we go. Just got to put a little elbow grease into it, I guess. Okay. Okay. All right. See, that looks so much better. It just looks so much nicer. Okay, now we got to do this to our paper too. This could be fun. We'll see. Because obviously, if it's going to be in here, it's got to be trimmed down too. It might be too thick. I might have to break it into the two halves, which is fine. We can do that. Let's see here. We're going to stick this in here. And I might not be able to do. Yeah, I don't think I can do that many at one time. Okay. I have done this once, so I know it can be done. Now, here, let's just take you out of here. Okay. All right. Try this one more time. Okay. I'm gonna get this yet. Sorry, you guys. Having issues. Okay. I'm trying to be stubborn and do it all at once, and it's just not going to let me. So I'm just going to have to go in and do them separately. That's just the only way it's going to work. Okay. Which if I'd have known that, I probably should have just done that beforehand. So you don't have to watch me do it. Can I do this many at once? Let's see. I'm so stubborn. I just gotta. Yeah, I can. Okay. I gotta try it, you know. I won't let it get the best of me. Gosh. I feel like a pretzel. Turning myself into a pretzel. Oh, yeah, don't do that. Get it in there all the way. Okay, so that's that. Now I have to come back and do these. I wonder if I can do these all right now. Let's try that. Yeah, really push down. Okay. I think I have to start going back to the gym. Okay. All right. Okay, we did it. All right, let's make sure our pages are going the right way. Done. And there we go. There we go. It does still look like it's sticking out a little, doesn't it? Now, I think it'll be okay. Okay, we're gonna take a little sandpaper. Got a little bit rough. Kind of go over that. Okay. Wipe that off. Now, the really scary part, which is sewing our signature into the book. If you think this part was scary, wait till you see the next one. Okay. So this is just a little kit that I got from Amazon, and it's got the big needles, like the big-eyed needles, which is obviously what I need. And this is waxed thread. This is like for bookbinding. So there's a little awl, little pointy guy. You might even have an awl in your toolkit somewhere. I'm going to use white thread because it kind of, again, fits in with the theme. So the way I learned to do it from another fabulous, or I should say a fabulous bookmaker, was to go 3 times the book length. Okay. And where's my big needle? Did I not take it out? Okay. I want the biggest hole I can find. Here we go. And, oh goody, now I get to thread this. Okay, so now, oh, there it goes, yay. Oh, come on. Okay, that was actually pretty easy. So, now what we want to make sure is that, you know, our pages, the holes in the signature on the pages match up with the holes in this in the book spine, obviously. So that's a little bit trickier. So what I'm gonna do is, and you can use like a hole punch. I don't think my hole punch is gonna go through this because I don't have a very hefty one. So I'm gonna start about in the middle. I'm just kind of eyeballing this, and I'm just gonna kind of go down, start a hole. I'm gonna be pushing that. I'm gonna push it through if you can see that, to like the widest part of the awl. See, so now I have a nice hole. Can you see in the middle? With all that pattern, it's hard to tell. Then I'm gonna go down, I don't know, that's probably about 1 inch, and make another one. And again, pushing that hole through. And about the same on the other end. There are other ways to do signatures where, you know, like you can do 5 holes. It certainly isn't necessary for this. And so far I haven't done one of those even for one of my bigger junk journals. Okay, so now we've got that. So now we have to somehow transfer where these are, where's my pencil, to the papers. So what I'm gonna do, I mean I could measure, I could do that. Let's see, but I think it's gonna be pretty close just to do this. So I'm just gonna mark it. I'm just lining up. This was the hole. You can kind of see because the paper has poked through a little bit. And here, this is where the hole was. And here, oh, oops. And right here. You can just kind of see where it kind of lines up. Didn't mean to write on you. Okay. So now, and this is really the scary part because I've had it where I've poked through and then it's like off on the other side. So that's not fun. So I'm kind of holding it like this, holding it kind of up so that I want to make sure it's coming out. Yeah, see, that's what it wants to do. It wants to kind of go to one side. Which, you know, that's still pretty darn close, so I'm not too concerned about that. It's still gonna hold it. Okay, so now I got it through. And yeah, this is harder to go through than the cover. And get it as wide as we can. Probably should have done the middle one first, but there we go. You can kind of see, yeah, it's doing the same thing on that one. Kind of aim it towards the back more. There we go. There we go. There we go. Don't poke yourself. These are very, very, very sharp. Okay. And for the final one, stick it through. I'm kind of amazed actually at how effective this old-fashioned tool is, this awl. Like, I mean, when all else fails, use your awl because it seems to always work. Okay, alrighty. Make sure I'm going up, 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 up. Okay. So before we stick those down, before we sew them in, I'm just gonna kind of go over the papers a little bit with, this is just a little bit of red ink because we've got obviously the red on the pages. And I'm just gonna kind of, you know, just a real quick. Quick, and then we're also going to do the blue and just kind of, you know, we can do more of this afterwards too, after they're in there. Actually, maybe I'll do that because this might take a while. Let's do a little of the blue. This is just so you can kind of get an idea. And here's our blue. Oh yeah, that's fun. I don't know if you can see. You see the blue on there? You don't have to do this, you know. I just think it's kind of fun to bring in some of those colors. Right now I'm basically just kind of going over what we're seeing right in front of us, but I'm going to go back in later and do more. I just wanted you to kind of get an idea. And now, kind of the probably most technical part, and it's not even really, it's really not at all. So we're going to start in our middle hole. I want my strings to end up on the outside. So I'm going to start from the outside, and so you're going to go through your middle hole. Obviously, you're going to go through your paper middle hole. You see that? There you go. And then we're going to make sure that we leave a nice tail on the outside. We're going to go up on the inside through this upper hole. I'm sorry, I keep bumping the camera, I know. Get lined up, get lined up. I know it's not lined up because I can't see any daylight through the hole. It's there. There we go. Sometimes you can like pull it back a little bit and see where you're going wrong. And then, so now we're on the outside. We're gonna go through the bottom hole. Oh, sorry guys, sorry. You know what? I think I have done it upside down because, see how my holes don't line up? Okay, that's okay. We're gonna pull it out and we're gonna start again. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. I didn't mark it and that was, yeah, that was my own fault for not marking it. Okay, now I see that they're lining up. Okay, all right, all right, all right, no problem. Let's do it again. Okay, thread your needle. Thread that needle. Go back through the middle. Now if you have a fancy hole puncher that will go through this, it's kind of nice because it'll be a cleaner hole, excuse me, than the awl. You know, it's a little bit rough, but you know, like I keep saying, handmade. So we're gonna go with it. Excuse me. And back through the middle. Now what we're gonna do is we wanna have, sorry, I got a little frog in my throat. We wanna have our existing thread, or the tail that we left behind, on one side of the thread, of the long thread, and then we wanna have the other wing, excuse me, on the other side, so that we can tie it. Okay, you can pull that out. I can make, I'd kind of like to make this one longer. Yeah, okay. So you can adjust it, and you want to make it nice and snug. You don't want it to be loose at all. Oh, that looks so nice. Oh, no. Yeah, we're okay, okay. It's like, it's upside down. Oh no. No, it's not, it's fine. Okay, I mean, there really is no upside down because we can turn it either way. Okay. So now I'm gonna pull it really snug. I'm gonna tie it over. And you're supposed to tie it the other way, but the only way I can do that is to like flip it around because my brain doesn't work that way. And so, and now we've got that. So now there is our assembled book. Isn't she cute? I think she's super cute. There's our little pocket. Let's just pretend here. We got a little, oh, I see that the glue didn't get glued right there. Again, we can fix all that. So that's a little pocket. Just want to make sure that that's functioning, our little pocket. We've got our nice rounded edges. So now we can kind of go in and just for fun, do some like stickers, you know, these are pretty boho, I think. We can just kind of like throw in a few stickers here and there, especially on these blank pages. We've got some sayings here, like, oh, this is fun. My favorite things. you know. And these are just stickers that I had. I mean, I've had these for, I bet I've had these for 15 years because I used to be, like I said, a crazy scrapbooker. Okay, maybe just, we're just gonna throw some in here and there. I'm not gonna do the whole book right now because you might have other things you wanna do today. But just kind of an idea, you know, of, let's do a blue one. I thought it was pretty cool that I was able to kind of have all of these fun kind of coordinating colors on hand that, you know, it's not costing me anything to do this. It can be whatever style, whatever theme that you want it to be. So, you know, it can be done really inexpensively. How about Magic Moment? Like that. Maybe it's over here. Magic Moment. So, you know, just some fun sort of decorating ideas for the interior. They'll put in their own month, and then they'll put in this little teeny tiny box the date. So, I mean, this probably isn't like a business planner. This is more of a little personal thing, a little personal planner to write notes. I mean, again, I can see this for a younger person, you know, maybe not a very busy executive businesswoman or something, but you're coming out. Why don't you come out there? Okay, so that's the interior. So now I want to make, I want to do the exterior. Gussy that up a little bit, and I previously cut these out. This was a piece of scrap paper that I had, and I thought, well, this is pretty close to the right colors. So, and then I just, on my computer, printed out some possible words, you know, my journal, in different fonts, you know, just several of them. And then I just kind of picked the one that I thought was my favorite, which I'm guessing was this one. So we are just gonna glue stick this down. We could use this as well. Well, maybe I'll just use that. But see how cute that is? And then we're gonna be putting a ribbon across the top of it, and we're gonna be doing some fun 3D stickers as well. So let's first glue my journal. You could use a glue stick for this, like I said, but I have trouble with the glue sticks, and I don't know if it's the climate in Colorado, but like I'll glue it down and it seems great, and then a little bit later I'll go back and it's like hard and crispy and it's coming up. And that's even with like this is supposed to be a really good one, and I think it is a good one, but I don't know, I'm really careful what I use it on, you know, like maybe really tiny things. On the month titles on the other book, I used it for that because it seemed, you know, pretty fitting. So I'm just gonna put it right around here, save a little. We're gonna save room for our ribbon. It's gonna go across. Okay, there she is. Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. Okay, we've got some fun three-dimensional stickers. We're just gonna like sort of randomly stick these down. They do need some glue, as you can see. Here, let's put this one over here. Just gonna stick that down. Oh my gosh, you're so cute. You're so cute. And this one, I didn't have any red ones, but that's okay. We don't have to have that. Could even do a couple of these little, oh, I like these because they have a little bling. A couple of these little white ones. Or maybe just one, we'll see. A little glue on here. I bought this pack of these little flowers ages ago, and I mean, there are so many in there. I don't know if I'll ever be able to use them all up. Let's see, I don't want it to be too, I guess we'll do that, okay. And there you go, there's that. You can do as many as you want. I think that's really super cute. I don't know, I might add more later, we'll see. Okay, and then for a closure, not that you need it, but if you want a closure, I'm just gonna do a kind of wrap, let's see. Stick some of this pretty light ribbon, and just kind of go through, oh, I'm sorry. I think my first video was much better. I think I did a lot better job, but it wasn't this complicated, so, all right. Get going through there. Why aren't you cooperating? Come on. Okay. Go on. Go on. Oh, goodness. Okay. Okay. Except, yeah, that's not right. Because I want it to be under. I got excited because I was able to get it through, but it's not in the right place. Okay. There's that. And it can be, you know, you could attach it. You can just like wrap it around. And just kind of go around and around. And tie it. And I didn't leave enough of a string. I gotta pull it through some more. Okay. Around and around. And give her a little tie, a little bow. Probably should have made that longer, but that's okay. I might redo that. But isn't she pretty? I think she's really pretty. I mean, it doesn't have to be wrapped twice either. I think once would suffice. So we could just do this. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Just do one. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Super cute, in my opinion. I think she's super cute. So you've got some functional pages in there with the calendar. You've got just some plain journaling pages. You got a couple of pockets to stick whatever. Oh my gosh, I love the colors of this. So that is that. Now, if you wanted to do, I'll set that aside. If you wanted to do a little bookmark, I mean, this is super easy. It doesn't, you know, it's just like, this is a scrap. Let's see, my other scrap was, could do this, that's not long enough. Again, I had my scraps handy. I don't know what happened to them. Here we go. There's another one. Those are about the same length. And I'm just gonna glue these, I'm just gonna glue them right on and cut it afterwards. Just a simple bookmark. It's kind of, and that happens too. I must have planned that. It's kind of lining up, isn't it? So what I'm thinking, because this has taken a lot longer than I thought, is that I'm gonna do the second one in another video, which I will probably do later today or something. It's kind of a part 2. So, because this is just taking too long, and it'll probably take forever to download. So, plus it's lunchtime and I'm getting hungry. So do this. So we're at almost an hour, which I can't even believe. You know, time flies when you're having fun. That's all I got to say. And if I knew how to cut out some of that stuff that didn't work out, I'll cut it out. But at this point, I don't really know how to do that. So we'll have to see how that goes. So we're just gonna trim off the excess. And we're going to trim off the excess of the bookmark because it doesn't have to be that long. And oh, that's so cute. I mean, it's just scraps. And we can also trim the corners on that. Boop. And like that. And like that. And I think we'll do it like this, and then we can put on another little flower. We can just do another little flower at the top. And whoop, and she's all set. There you go, a nice cute little bookmark. We'll just stick her right in here to mark our pages. There it is. Okay, you guys, I'm going to end it here, and I will do the other little book, which will be much faster because it's not completely handmade. So I'm going to do that later and post this probably on the same day. So thank you for watching this, and thanks for being patient with me. It's my second video. I think my first one was better, but like I said, it was a lot simpler and quicker. So really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll be posting again later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.